Who are these people? They are awful and horrifying, and I love them.
Program the computer.
Check.
We create a mental atmosphere.
Check, check.
Fear not, my friends. This will be my greatest performance.
Well,
We came, we saw, we
kicked it right into the final weekend of August. Here we are.
Yep.
One more day, and then we're going to have September upon us.
Labor Day weekend.
This is Mornings on the Beach, your Saturday, Sunday morning delight. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
Melanie Ray.
And today on the show, you're finding your local news on nonprofit media platforms, and we're going to talk to the current people behind the Long Beach Post. Also, the producer of a new documentary that's coming out this week on PBS. Stay right here. It's going to be a great show.
The long national nightmare is over.
Which one?
Cracker Barrel has decided on their logo.
I knew we would get into that on the show. Absolutely. And also...
And what are you doing this weekend? You need some ideas?
We'll give
You're
them to
in
you.
the right spot.
Yeah, for sure. And because we are a part, and I'll do this as disclosure, I'm also a member of the board of directors for this operation called the Long Beach Journalism Initiative, which is reformed as the longbeachpost.com as a nonprofit. And welcome into the house, the executive editor. Would that be a correct title for you, Jeremiah?
Yeah, that works.
Any title will do. And John Donegan, who's also a reporter for the Long Beach Post.
Yeah.
Rad.
Now
One
you're
of
probably
our star reporters.
absolutely. And we are seeing your byline all over town. People are seeing it and asking me about it.
Yeah.
I'm turning people onto it. I think it's an important thing. But I wanted to bring them on the show because things have changed over there in the last year and a half, maybe even longer.
Yeah.
And you inspired me with this to turn our show local, away from the national news. And the point you made was about how everybody's doing that. And that's sensational. And it doesn't really serve you if you need information.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about what's transpired. Most people don't realize that the Long Beach Post is a nonprofit now.
Yeah, I love that we're inspiring you.
Yes.
It's been great. We became a nonprofit a little more than a year ago. We had more a corporate ownership structure, and now everything we do is based on this nonprofit model. And it's actually made a huge difference, a bigger difference than I realized, because I think people just actually understand nonprofits have a mission to serve the community. You know this, Dan.
Yeah, of course. What's what we do here?
We're on it. Yeah.
It clicked, I think, for a lot of people. They understood that. I mean, journalism's always been a public service. You guys know that.
Yeah.
But saying it really helped clarify that the reason we're doing this is to help the people who are reading this, the people in the community that we're serving, not somebody who's actually making a profit off of it. And that's kind of filtered into our coverage too, where we get to focus on things that matter to people in Long Beach a lot more than the thing that will get the most eyeballs.
A prime example. Remember the tsunami that happened? The warning that we all got?
Right.
In the community? Well,
I blocked it out. I don't remember.
Yeah.
he was working.
That was like 4 traumas ago.
It was. I think there was so much misinformation that was coming to you by your text that if you checked in with the Long Beach Post, you found that you actually found the right information that was sent to all of us,
man.
but you had to scroll down and find it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, that's funny because John actually was texting me that evening. He was getting all these alerts and like, hey, does this affect us? Should we be worried about this? I'm like, no, we're fine. Nothing's going to happen here. But as the night went on, like really quickly, you guys were getting text alerts, and it made me think of the fires when we even got like evacuation alerts here in Long Beach, even though there wasn't a fire anywhere near us. People were craving information,
Right.
Because every news station was talking about it. Everybody was getting alerts on their phone, and the news just was there might be a tsunami coming. That was basically all the information you're getting. We were on Reddit, like looking. Long Beach has a subreddit, so we were on Reddit, and people were like, "Hey, should I like get on my roof downtown? Like, do I need to be worried about getting flooded here?" And it made us realize, no, we got to tell people what's going to happen locally.
Right.
And what was happening locally was the tsunami was forecast to be 1 foot.
Oh yeah, that detail was missing.
Minor
from
detail,
those
yeah.
alerts.
Yeah. And that information wasn't getting out there. But
Yeah, you're right.
So for the Long Beach Post, that information was in our headline. So you're not freaking out. You're just getting real accurate information that's useful for you
Right.
right here, right now.
Right.
And
No,
if
I
you're
love the
looking
Post.
elsewhere, right, like Press Telegram, you wouldn't find that because nobody
Yep.
was working on that
Right.
at that time of the night, for
Well,
sure.
There was some other weird text we all got about something, and I remember reading the Post that it was supposed to be some kind of interdepartmental alert, and it went
Oh,
out there.
yeah,
I can't remember
there
what
was-
it was, but I looked up in the Post like, what? And it was like, did you get this and that alert? And I was
Yeah,
like,
it had to
"Yeah."
do with the wildfires. Like LA County has some like third party system that they use to send out these evacuation
Oh,
alerts,
right.
and one went to the entire county when the fires were burning.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because we weren't stressed out enough.
Yep.
But I found the information on the Post. Like,
Yeah.
what did that mean?
Yeah.
You know, and it's nice to know it's coming from here because the headline was exactly that. Did you get a strange? Yes, I did get a strange text.
It's and that fits with the nonprofit stuff. We
Yeah.
we can serve our local readers more than whatever's going to get us the most attention.
Right.
We don't need the scare headlines.
And what I like about the Long Beach Post specifically is that unlike a regular newspaper, you don't have to wait till the next morning to have
Right.
that paper
Right,
on your
that's true.
driveway and read what happened. You guys immediately go to work, put it up, and
Yeah.
the information's there right now.
Yeah.
We used to say in the news business it's better to be right than first, which is still true. Still true. Have to be right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I know, but everybody else forgot.
You have to be right and first. You have to be both now.
Right.
It's tough.
Yeah. One of the things that I think is the most important part about all of this is the difference that the publications that you may be thinking about that you use normally, LA Times, the Press Telegram especially, it's no longer that newsroom that's percolating all day. It's written by folks that are writing for many other newspapers at the
Right.
same time.
Yeah.
So I like the emphasis on local.
I agree.
Being right here, we seem to know what's going on. And that's tough because most people have this perception that we're being served totally by the Long Beach Press Telegram. And, while I'm not making a statement about whether they're good or bad, I don't find everything I need there, especially if it's something like the high-low, like what's going on this weekend.
Yeah, our arts and culture section.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't
use
find
that
that
too.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's more centrally located, and we're all in the same boat because it's costly to do this stuff, right? And that's
Absolutely.
an important part about all this without the support that you guys get from the community
Yep.
and from your other grants and stuff that you obtain, but primarily from people who believe in your mission.
Because we're a nonprofit, any support we get actually goes into expanding the newsroom. That any donation, any grant, anything actually helps us expand the newsroom. We don't have to worry about corporate profits. We don't have to worry about efficiency. Well, we do have to worry about it.
A little bit. Come on.
But we can use that money to do things that the community actually wants us to do.
Right.
It's a smaller staff over there now than
Yep.
it used to be, right?
We have we have John, we have another reporter, and then we have a third reporter starting 2 weeks from now, a little less than 2 weeks from now. So I'm
a
super
small
excited about
operation.
that. Yeah, and we supplement it with some freelancers. We had a whole crew of interns over the summer who were just excited to be in a real newsroom.
Right.
There's really not a place to do that anymore. Students are coming out of college and they've never actually done professional journalism because there's not a place to get your first internship or learn from being in a newsroom. It's all spread out, or people are working from home. So it's really good to have younger people in there and be excited about it. But I am super excited that we are adding a third reporter. When you only have 3 reporters, that's a huge difference. And she's going to be focusing on education, which nobody is right now in
Nice.
Long Beach.
Nice.
Great. Yeah. John, you joined the Long Beach Post, last year?
Yeah, about a year and 3 months ago. Before that, I was working in Bakersfield. I worked for a daily newspaper there called the Bakersfield Californian. Don't know if you've heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Old paper, similar to Press Telegram.
Was it
had been
real
around.
paper?
Yeah.
Oh,
real
really?
paper, delivered every day.
Oh, that's wild.
Worked there for about almost 2 years, and I knew I needed to move on somewhere else. And the big thing when you move on to a new place is, what are the editors like? And so for me, I had a call with Jeremiah, hated it. I had a call with Melissa, loved it, and the rest was set in stone.
That's going to leave a mark.
Then you
Yeah.
came anyway.
Now about that raise.
So, and that's where you started with your journalism career?
No. Before that, I mean, you probably already know, Janie, too, is like the journalism as a field is such a nebulous world. I mean, me and Jeremiah both, we talk about how we, had to jump from internship to horrible internship for years, horrible job to horrible job, working for sleaze bags, every kind of person that you don't want to work for.
Past tense.
Past tense.
Yeah. Wow.
No, I love my job now. Don't worry. But I worked for magazines in Virginia. I worked for newspapers in New York. I did freelance for AP at some point, photography. And that kind of just speaks to how journalists nowadays have to learn how to do everything.
For you, how old were you when you first knew that you wanted to do this?
I mean, that's a tough one because it's definitely not for the money.
Right.
And you really have to have the passion for. You have to have the fire inside of you. I know that sounds like a Bruce Springsteen line, but you have to have a drive.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to. For me, it was just really despising powerful people. And that's something I earned as a kid.
Nice.
And just seeing powerful people and the smile they give and the kind of. I can't curse on your show. But,
You can.
Oh,
You can bleep it out.
I should that.
there's a certain line that they throw at people, and I think I had the privilege of at a young age understanding bullshit. I saw it, when I heard it. So, I also grew up abroad, so I would get newspapers. One of the few interactions I would get of the U.S. was the New York Times, or the Washington Post, and there was this power that it had, and I loved just seeing a name and not knowing anything about the person and only seeing the words they wrote down. I know, again, that's cheesy, but there's a certain power to that. It's the same power you get from a good book.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the power of being aloof. It's the power of not knowing that person and just knowing what they're putting down on paper.
That's wild.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I hear you about like that. You didn't do it for the money. My mom still thinks that I need a real job.
Yeah, mine
Being
did
in radio.
too. Yeah.
Being in radio, but it's about that same thing. In other words, you have this motivation that comes out of, for me, it was I didn't want to shut up. In the last year and a half, Jeremiah, you went through that change, right? Were you working there before when it was the paid model?
Yeah, so I have spent actually most of my journalism career in Long Beach, and I working at the Press Telegram first, and then for several years over at the Long Beach Post before we transitioned over to nonprofit model.
It was fantastic. And the difference for you, like the way it feels now as opposed to how it felt when you were working for the Press Telegram.
It feels like, and I tell people this when they come to our newsroom, it feels like what you write matters. It's actually, it's scary. I've had people say, hey, when you hit publish on this story, like I know I'm going to get phone calls and emails about it because people pay attention to what we write, and it actually can have an effect, which is the point.
Nice.
But it's also terrifying because at a lot of places you're just kind of publishing for nobody, and you're just filling the paper and filling it with ads to make sure some money's coming in. But here it makes a difference. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about some of the other things that are available through the Long Beach Post? I know that you guys have a new ticket platform for people doing events.
Yeah. As a nonprofit, we could try out all these cool new ways to
great?
bring in money to support the newsroom. But actually, this one's a real community service, too. And Danny, this is something I know has been close to your heart for a long time. Yeah. It's like there's really no central place in Long Beach to go to find out, okay, what's going on in Long Beach? What are the events? What can I go do on the weekend?
It is a huge complaint where I've had many, many, many friends say, well, just like Long Beach, the cool stuff going on, you can't find it.
Mm-hmm.
So we partnered with another local company. It's funny, it's a couple who live right across the street from our newsroom and just kind of wandered in one day and talked to us. But they built a ticketing platform. Ticketing and events platform. So we are in the process of getting events to populate this calendar. It's lbpostevents.com. Anybody can add their events for free. There's a lot of stuff there already. So please go use it. And the best part is, I don't know if you guys have ever used Eventbrite before.
Yeah, I have.
People hate Eventbrite.
I do too, yeah.
Because it costs a lot and they charge too much. Yep. Ours is cheaper than Eventbrite. If you are selling tickets, the fees are cheaper for your attendees, and all that money stays local. It goes to support our newsroom, and it goes to support this other local business.
Beautiful.
Cool. Yeah, it's fantastic and a great thing going on. Like you said, different things you can try now that you're not for profit. But like I said, and I got the email from John, and the quote that I thought that just hit me, right, was good journalism isn't easy and it isn't cheap. And you get to support it if you like what's going on there.
Right.
they can find out more information about how to support you on your website as well, correct?
Our website is littered with buttons to donate, so
Yes.
lbpost.com, everything you need right there.
And the little signs that come up, so-and-so donated, so-and-so donated. It's a very inspirational.
We're not above a little guilt.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I donate, but it pressured me.
We get shamed every time we go there.
I love it. Can I have my name? If I don't, I want my name pinned there for 48 hours so that people see it.
How much you want it?
There we go. Now we're talking.
Good answer. Good answer.
He's reaching in my pocket as we speak.
Yes.
Get away from me. Well, thank you guys for coming by. I mean,
Thanks,
we
Dan.
want to have you come back when there's important things to talk about, because we also have a coordinated internship with the Long Beach Post, and we're bringing some students on in the next couple of weeks.
Nice.
We hope you'll hear the result here, because we want to create content that you'll see on longbeachpost.com and also here on klbp.org. So thank you guys for coming by.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now go across and get back to work. Jeremiah Dobruck, executive editor, and John Donegan, a reporter for the Long Beach Post. Always great to have
Yeah.
them, and we hope they come back.
Oh, I think journalists are heroes. They are heroes.
too.
I mean, really, they're in other parts of the world. They're losing their lives
Yeah.
to write for the truth, and they're just doing it to tell the truth
And providing something that
and provide a
goes
service.
right into our song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heroes.
Absolutely. Well, this is an oldie, but it's a goodie, as they say. The Rascals, and a real positive tune called "A Ray of Hope."
Mornings on the beach for your Saturday, Sunday morning right here. Danny Lemos.
Mike Stark.
Melanie Ray.
And let's talk about this week.
Oh.
Because
I say that after every week. Oh, this week. Oh.
I like Mike's take on it. Yeah, something changed back a couple weeks ago, and it's changed back. And we're not talking about a person in the Trump administration. We're talking about a logo.
A logo, yes. A corporate logo that some people got upset about. I wonder how much is just media driven.
You know,
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know,
come on.
Who
No.
really cares?
I don't.
I'm not even sure the right really cares that much about
Right.
it, but it seemed to be the direction was pointed at the right for getting upset about Cracker Barrel changing their logo.
Yeah.
And I immediately started thinking, well, is this the similar thing to the defund the police logo that we get nailed
Right.
with,
Yeah,
for them? But somebody got upset, obviously, and now it's back to the original after the corporation.
And visually, I think both logos are terrible. Like, if you're just going to look at the image,
Yeah.
yuck.
Where was all the outcry when KFC changed their logo? To me,
Exactly.
that's a better representation of the South.
Right.
You know,
than
and
Cracker
coming
Barrel.
from a Southern Californian, what even is a Cracker Barrel? Is it,
Well,
is it
they're-
a store?
They are.
And a restaurant?
They are going to be expanding. It's my understanding there, and
We don't want one.
There is a rumor that there is one coming to Long Beach.
Nah.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
I think that should.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I think that probably the company is trying to change and expand and become more important to everyone, to all demographics, and that's why the logo changed.
Yeah, money. That's what
Yeah.
they want. Here's what the Atlantic said. When Cracker Barrel first opened in 1969, the country was at an inflection point of a long, steep shift towards urban life. In 1940, roughly 44% of Americans lived in rural areas, but by 1970, barely more than a quarter of them did. Cracker Barrel intended to capitalize on nostalgia for a way of life that was already disappearing. Which, for most people alive today, it never was.
Yeah.
This throwback to
I have
something.
no idea what they're talking about.
When people talk about the 50s, that's when I was born. Nothing so great about the 19. My parents don't remember anything terrific about it, other than they
Yeah.
could afford a car and a house.
Right.
But, this nostalgia for going back to something that, in a sense, really never was. But same thing here, they're saying, and it's all about the money.
Yeah, exactly.
So I agree with them on that.
And if you've ever eaten at one, it's a Denny's basically.
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of comfort food. They usually have a little store attached to it where you can buy country type trinkets.
Now, didn't they get into some trouble for racism?
At one point, I think
Yeah.
they
Because
did.
that's when I hear Cracker Barrel, I think of that. For one, I'm cued by the word cracker, and two, I just remember there being lots of lawsuits.
Yeah, I don't know that there were lots.
Or
and
in my mind, it's tied to that
Yeah,
somehow.
and-
So when
and-
I saw the,
It
But
was
I'm just
really a restaurant not even worth discussing at all.
You know,
Is it like a Waffle House? I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. Well, I think it's a little. If we're going to rate them on
Less violent.
food quality, I think they're a step above
Yeah.
the
A
Waffle
Waffle
House?
House.
Yeah.
But what isn't?
but it's also the Cracker Barrel. To me, the description that was aptly put was it's the Walmart of restaurants. It's
what are
basically
we fighting over?
Yeah.
It's, why are they?
Yeah.
Is it, again, another
The
distraction.
Walmart of restaurants.
Maybe this was from Carolyn Levitt or whatever. The press secretary decided to deflect on us. But there's a reason that they want to deflect us away, because a lot's been going on in the federal health departments, if you noticed. And the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, this week, has long said that products, they have to back up the claims they make when they advertise to you on television. So this will improve your memory,
Right.
15%. Well, that company was sued because they couldn't prove it.
Right.
Well, the government's moving to upend that. The MAHA movement, Make America Healthy Again movement, has produced a lawsuit that would remove that protection, saying,
Well, that's just
you're
greed.
not.
That one's just greed.
That's
Yeah.
just plain old greed and stupidity.
Yeah.
Please, for heaven's sakes, now I'm starting
See-
to think maybe I should grow my own pigs, and slaughter
well,
my own meat.
It's something to consider. You know what I mean? When you get your food, and I've been telling my daughter that wash everything. Even
They're not taking the steps.
Yeah, even meats and things that I wouldn't have washed before cooking. Now I'm washing everything, and
Or get a dog, because I noticed the other day I brought home some chicken from Smart and Final, and I thought to myself, "Oh, I cook it up for him, right?" I put it in the
Right.
bowl. He wouldn't eat it.
Really?
Oh,
I
I had
thought-
my dog do that with some
You-
turkey.
and then
Interesting.
I brought
Interesting, yeah.
another packet home and I opened it and I took a whiff, and it had the tiniest, slightliest off.
Oh, interesting.
Now, if this is because they're not inspecting thoroughly, and because if you have 15% less people inspecting,
Right.
yeah, something's going to slip through.
Well,
and
it
I'm just
wasn't that
wondering.
great before.
That's for sure. But it's about to get a lot worse.
You were still getting, alerts at Trader Joe's lettuce and, things like that.
Yeah.
that
What's
had
the upside to
E.
that, though, I
coli.
wonder? Is it that we should all be on our own, taking care of it, self-reliant?
I think it is.
I think it's sad to say that, but we have to be careful and take care of ourselves and our own,
Right.
the folks around you.
Yeah.
We're growing our own vegetables right
I've
here in
been
Long
trying-
Beach.
Yeah.
I got the
I'm growing
cutest
food too.
little red bell pepper. It is the size of my fist, but it's so adorable.
Yeah.
I don't want to cook it.
Aw.
And cilantro and basil, we're growing it all. I thought,
Yeah.
you know what? Tear up the patio. Let's
That's
grow
cool.
corn.
I think that is one of the answers, both because of this, and then also because of the ice raids. We're going to be losing a lot of produce that isn't being picked. Because that wasn't thought out either.
Now nobody's watching the store, so
Right. So midterms, maybe people will notice. And vote
I think
accordingly.
people are. I think the sentiment of the country is beginning to feel a little bit like, we're all tired of this stuff.
Yep.
It's hard
None of
because
this makes
everything
sense.
is, it's all about your algorithm. So I like watching the town halls where people are getting
Yep.
shouted out, and people are chasing them and saying shame on you. I like watching that stuff. So I see it, but I wonder if everybody's seeing that stuff.
We need some place that we know we can get the information like that isn't just capsulated by the press, because the press looks through a small little lens because they want to make money. They need
Right.
to get your eyeballs on the TV set, so they give it all the sensational they can.
Right.
But when you see, like on C-SPAN, if you go to a town hall on C-SPAN, you'll see the real people. And these aren't just MAGA people.
Right.
These aren't just left. These
No,
are MAGA people
there are
included.
MAGA
They're
people.
upset.
Yeah, I saw the veteran who burnt a flag.
Yeah.
Burnt the flag and was, yeah.
And what was the response? The president says, "You can't do that. Let's make it illegal." Guess what? It's protected by the First Amendment. Could you read your Constitution,
Correct.
Mr.
Right.
Trump?
But he does not.
Yeah, no, and that's scary. Number one, neither does Christy Nome. They don't actually.
They didn't take basic high school physics.
Let's get Fox,
Civics.
CBS,
Civics.
MSNBC. Let's get them all together at once and provide no debate. What I'd like to see is a simple quiz.
Oh, forget it.
on really, wouldn't that
Not gonna happen.
On civics. What goes on in
Right.
government? What name the three branches of government? I
Oh,
bet
no
you they
way.
couldn't do it.
Well, Trump thought the Declaration of Independence was related to the Civil War, and it's in the name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, you people are like, "I'm tired. I don't know what to do." If you haven't been in touch with your local congressperson, yes, I know some people live within the sound of our voice, and we know our congressperson knows how we feel, but they need to know how many of us feel this way. Keep writing, emailing, whatever you do. Just keep the pressure on, because
It's hard to keep the energy up and all
it
this
is
news.
hard. But and Robert Garcia's, he's
fighting the fight.
He is fighting the fight. We're going to have next week. We're going to have editors come back from the Long Beach Post to talk about the redistricting plan.
And he was just here last week with Kamala getting an award for the. I don't know,
and now he's back in Washington. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, no, he's our guy.
And he's in charge of the House Committee on Ethics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Let's see him, because he won't give up.
Ethics, what's that?
He will get a pit bull with his teeth in somebody's butt, and he won't let go until he gets what he needs, and that's hopefully satisfaction for you and me. But I'm glad he's involved in that, and that's pretty good. That's an opportunity that's rarely provided to somebody who's only been there for 2 years.
Yeah.
To have him be in charge of that subcommittee. So anyway, that's what's going on. A little lengthier than we wanted to be, but let's get to some music now.
Yeah, the band Sublime, they're back in business, even though they lost their lead singer years ago. And the lead singer is now the son of the guy that was the original lead singer, and they've got a new record out called Ensenada.
Mornings on the Beach for the last weekend, Labor Day weekend, in August. Yep. September 1st is on Monday. And this is Mornings on the Beach. Did I say that already?
No, you can't say it too many times.
I'm Danny.
I'm Mike.
Melanie.
I'm over there. So you guys know, because you've been with me forever, that I'm a huge documentary fan. I love documentaries. I will watch them all day. I'll watch them all night.
Me too.
And so when this documentary was brought across my desk, I jumped at it. A wonderful documentary produced by our guest this morning. Welcome to the show, Peter Jones.
Oh,
hello.
Welcome. And you're the producer on the film, correct?
I'm the director, producer, and what's the other thing you can do? Writer.
You did the whole shebang. And with you, you have someone with us. Will you introduce her?
Taylor Varcin-Harwell, who lives in Long Beach, and I want her to answer the questions because,
Oh, really?
This is her hometown.
Fantastic. So one of the things I was interested in, and I could give a synopsis of the documentary, but it really is about guys from the class of 1974 at Harvard High School here in Los Angeles, and having been across town and graduated in 1974 at Loyola High School. I was interested in the subject matter because what started as something to do during COVID has blossomed into something beautiful, and it's documented in this film. Tell us a little bit more about it.
I am so grateful because, look, we have the appeal. Everyone went to high school. Everyone went through the COVID experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone had to figure out this thing called Zoom.
Right.
So I could do these interviews for free. And the documentary really came about because of the guys meeting on Zoom. And then I came along and started doing one-on-one interviews. And it just grew into a film because we had 4 years from COVID quarantine to our 50th reunion. So we had a built-in destination for how the movie would end.
So what's it called?
It's called Fortunate Sons.
Ah.
It's airing on PBS this next week.
Okay.
So if you're looking at PBS, it's SoCal, especially.
It should go to the art.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to do. We're doing this because, first of all, the subject matter is amazing. So you have a group of guys who went to high school together, got together during COVID, and were they planning their 50th anniversary or a 50th reunion? Or
one guy in particular who we learn in the film, actually, there's an urgency because he is sick, and we don't know that yet. He has cancer. He's the one who says we've got to have 100% attendance in May of 2024, which seemed so far away then at the time.
Yeah, but when they first started meeting, they weren't thinking about that quite yet. They were just trying to get together and fill the time back when we thought we would be in quarantine for a couple weeks.
Right.
In March of 2020, they started meeting. And I think after that is when they realized, oh, right, the reunion's coming up. We better get on this.
That is so amazing. But what you found out from these guys, that seemed like, to me, would be a surprising discovery for anybody making a film. To find that richness in what they were talking about. Can you tell me a little bit about what you discovered?
Well, I'll tell you that the guys that we featured in the film are actually guys that I went to elementary school with.
Okay.
And I didn't even
Wow.
think about that until later. But there was a built-in familiarity that we had from way back, and then our 6 years at Harvard School, and the level of disclosure and candor just blew me away, because the guys, they just felt so comfortable talking, just like we're doing now, looking at a screen, and it's not really going to be seen by anybody.
Right.
It's like you're eavesdropping on these very intimate, candid conversations.
We saw the preview just now, and the richness of what they were able to talk about inspired me. I wish I could get my high school friends together, because at the 50th reunion, there wasn't a lot of interconnection, because it was right in the middle of COVID, of course, or right after it. And there wasn't the connection that I wanted from that experience. Somehow, being home in their own environment, talking to a camera and not having a huge crowd in front of them, gave them a great perspective for discussing their own feelings.
Exactly. It really did. And the idea that when I'll be interested to see these guys in 3D at the reunion. So there was another added piece. And we did have the highest attendance in school history, because we had 4 years getting to know one another. As you said, you go to a reunion, you haven't seen these people in 50 years. We had already gotten to know one another, making the film and doing these Zoom calls. So that was a remarkable thing. When we all met in person, there was a genuine connection thanks to this.
It's an unusual thing for you. You've produced a lot of other entertainments, but when you went to this, or you in these Zoom calls, were you suddenly inspired? You're always looking for a story? I mean, as a filmmaker, how did you come across, like, let's turn this into a film?
Yeah.
You know what? The class asked me, could you make a film out of this? And I have to tell the truth.
Well, that's
I said,
inspirational
guys,
enough.
No, the honest answer. And I said, guys, who would give a about a bunch of privileged white men? Is there a more hated demographic in America right now? And I apologized a couple of years later, after I realized, oh my God, stuff happens to everybody, no matter where you may have come from. Stuff happens.
And it's what I saw in those clips. I can't wait to watch the entire documentary.
Yeah.
And Mike's take on it right away was, this could mean anybody could.
Anybody can identify with this whole process without a doubt. It's the Zoom aspect that adds a different dimension to it. And I was just thinking that during COVID, we as a radio station were doing everything on Zoom as well.
Right.
So we can relate in that aspect of putting together an entertainment show in that way.
Tiffany, your part in this film, what was your part in the process here?
Taylor, actually.
Sorry. Let me do that again. Hold up. Taylor, tell us a little bit about your role, because I know Harvard was an all-boys school, right? So you didn't.
Yeah. So
you didn't go there.
I produced the film along with Peter. It was an all-boys school, and it was a private school, and I grew up with all sisters, and I was homeschooled. So it was a completely different experience to anything that I knew about. I really wasn't familiar with the private school world at all. I hadn't even heard of Harvard School or Harvard Westlake. I shared some of Peter's concerns going in. I kind of, I wasn't that interested right off the bat. I wasn't sure what would be compelling necessarily about somebody else's high school class, especially people I had nothing to do with. But as the guys started to open up more and share about what actually happened in their lives, just the pure human stories, and the kind of the fascination of, okay, there's a group of, it's a small class, it's about 100 guys. They all left from this point. They all graduated 1974. They all went off into their lives. To be able to get them back together and find out what actually happened to them and hear the content of their lives since then when they're coming back together was very interesting. I think anytime that you get to kind of see a condensed view of an entire life, you'll find some interesting stories.
I found just the trailer so interesting, especially with that one gentleman says, they expected so much of this class. What happened to you? And when he talks about that moment, wow, I know we all have that imposter moment somewhere in our lives. So it was so poignant. And I just can't thank you enough for, first of all, for bringing this forward It's going to air this week. I hope it impacts people in the way that I was impacted by it.
Oh, good. I hope so too.
Fortunate Sons. It's called an intimate, unguarded portrait of a friendship, love, loss, redemption, and the lasting bonds between the men of Los Angeles Harvard School for Boys, class of 74. And if you're like me and you're around that year, you're going to love this. You're just going to find something really wonderful about this. September 3rd is when it airs on PBS SoCal. That's great. What's next for you, Taylor? Obviously, this one's in the can. Now it's time to...
Next thing.
The next project.
Yeah, next up for me is just continuing to try to find stories that have a real human element, especially focused on civil rights and social change.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And
Thank
Peter,
you.
for you, what's next?
After 40 years of making documentaries, in September, I go back to graduate school. I want to become a clinical psychologist. I wanna
Oh, yeah.
Kidding. Oh, my goodness, that's a flip.
Try something new on. It's time.
Well,
That's
you know, these
amazing.
are really messed up times.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And how can I help? When I do these interviews, all these years, people
Right.
open up to me. I think I could do this, you know, professionally without cameras rolling and help people, you know, for real.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's fantastic. Well, we can't thank you enough for coming on the
Thank
show
you
this
so
morning.
much. Nice to meet you.
Enlightening our audience. We always want to make sure that we're going to support public radio. Obviously, we are public radio, but we're going to support public television as well, because, you know, you don't have to be told
Yeah,
what's
we
going on
know.
in the
Yeah.
world right now.
Right.
So thank you, Peter Jones. And thank you, Taylor Varcin-Harwell, for being with us here on the show this morning from Long Beach, California.
Yeah.
Woo!
Go Beach.
Local content, and we'll be joining you September 3rd on PBS SoCal. I really can't wait to see the documentary. So anyway, time to move along.
You looking for something to do this weekend?
Yeah.
Keep listening.
Okay.
Coming up next, but first, Mavis Staples' new record.
Yeah.
She just keeps turning them
I know,
out.
it's awesome.
She rocks.
Amazing. Beautiful Strangers.